Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always watching and supporting the channel. According to you, the confrontation between two peerless intelligences, Mr. Majestic versus Martian Manhunter, who do you think will win? Mr. Majestic, real name Lord Majestros, is a warrior from the planet Khera, where super warriors are born. With powers equal to Superman and sometimes even surpassing him, Majestic possesses super strength, super speed, the ability to fly, energy vision, genius, intelligence, and top fighting skills. What makes Majestic special is his ruthlessness, cold reason, and tendency to use power to extremes, not bound by morality like Superman. Martian Manhunter, or John Johns, is one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. In addition to powers such as flight, super strength, invisibility, shapeshifting, mind reading, and teleportation, he is also one of the most powerful telepaths in DC Comics. What makes John special is his deep empathy and the wisdom of a man who has lived for centuries, making him not only a warrior but also a keeper of moral balance and conflict. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button. Please remember to turn on notifications and click the bell icon. Thank you very much. Majestic is a character that at first glance can make people think of a superhero with a costume with eye-kicking colors and a strong style. However, he possesses superior power. He is not simply a copy of Superman, but also the embodiment of pure power. Combining superhuman physicality and super intelligence, Majestic possesses a range of incredible abilities, including superhuman strength that allows him to lift objects of enormous mass without hindrance. He can move at speeds far beyond the speed of sound, even approaching the speed of light in space. Majestic's body is almost invulnerable, withstanding powerful physical and energy attacks without being harmed. He can fly freely using the energy from both his eyes and fists to launch devastating attacks, equivalent to heavy weapons. Majestic's intelligence reaches genius levels with the ability to analyze, calculate, and invent far beyond human limits. He designs advanced technology, even from simple tools. In addition, he also possesses enhanced senses, being able to hear sounds at frequencies beyond the normal human range, or see at the molecular level. Ice Breath is another ability that allows him to easily freeze targets in an instant. Majestic is also considered to possess a state of virtual immortality, meaning he does not age like a normal human, and is very difficult to destroy. When injured, his recovery speed is extremely fast, allowing him to return to combat in a short time. In addition to the abilities similar to Superman, Mr. Majestic also possesses a number of superior abilities that Superman does not have. Among them, the most prominent is the ability to move objects, telepathy, and telepathy. These two abilities are not only complementary, but also greatly expand his strategic potential in combat situations, or in analyzing the psychology of opponents. For this ability, he can instantly communicate with others at a distance, as well as manipulate the surrounding environment without direct physical influence. Mr. Majestic's physical strength is also confirmed through many clashes with powerful characters. Most notably, he defeated Captain Atom, an entity capable of manipulating quantum energy and ranked among the most powerful superheroes in the DC universe. Not only that, even Superman, who is often considered the standard of superhero power, once admitted that Mr. Majestic was superior to him. Mr. Majestic is simply powerful, but it does not fully describe the scope and depth of his power. It is also demonstrated through his sharp strategic thinking, adaptability, and improvisation in the face of multi-dimensional threats. He comes from the planet Khera, a distant world where he once held the position of warlord, that is, a supreme military leader. In that context, he is not only a powerful warrior, but also a strategist and protector of the Kheran civilization. His leadership role on his home planet further proves that Mr. Majestic is the perfect combination of strength, intelligence, and battle experience. Despite his power far beyond the standards of any superhero, Mr. Majestic does not rely solely on his innate abilities to fight. In fact, he is a master swordsman with his hand-to-hand combat skills honed to perfection, along with the experience of a seasoned warrior, but also reflects a deep understanding of tactics and the art of confrontation, making him a formidable opponent even in situations where his supernatural abilities cannot be relied on. Unlike the iconic model hero image of Superman, Mr. Majestic has a tough, somewhat cold and practical personality. Despite his ruthless appearance, he still acts for the purpose of protecting life and order, but his approach does not compromise with weakness or easily moved sympathy. The comparison between Mr. Majestic and characters like Homelander or Omni-Man is often mentioned because they are both characters inspired by the Man of Tomorrow, aka Superman. What sets Mr. Majestic apart, however, is that he remains a true hero. While Homelander and Omni-Man represent corruption and uncontrolled power, Mr. Majestic is pretty cool. He is also incredibly powerful. Mr. Majestic's power is the ability to move an entire planet the size of Jupiter, which is 11 times larger than Earth. He can travel from Earth to the edge of the Milky Way in a short amount of time, which requires speeds close to or exceeding the speed of light. During one fight with Superman, Mr. Majestic unleashed several powerful attacks and demonstrated impressive fighting skills. However, it is important to note that at that time, Superman was not really fighting seriously. He was still in the process of observing, analyzing, and evaluating his opponent. However, Mr. Majestic's performance was impressive. Majestic in the fight showed that he had complete control over his powers, reacting and striking with ease, without hesitation or loss of control. Mr. Majestic is significantly older and has participated in many galactic-scale wars, which has helped him accumulate a wealth of knowledge and fighting skills that Superman has not had the opportunity to fully develop. Meanwhile, Superman, despite possessing great potential, is still on a journey to discover his full capabilities. Many analysts believe that if Superman ever reaches the true peak of his power, he may surpass even Mr. Majestic. However, to this day, Mr. Majestic remains one of the most formidable and comprehensive opponents Superman has ever faced. Mr. Majestic has faced many powerful and vicious enemies, the most prominent of which are Hellspawn and Kaizen Gamora. These are not just ordinary opponents, but entities with a scale of influence and danger on a planetary level or even beyond. Hellspawn is known as the supreme leader of the Daimonites, a dark alien force with ambitions to dominate the universe. As the eternal enemy of the Caribbean species, of which Mr. Majestic is a member, Hellspawn represents total destruction, combining superhuman intelligence with virtually unlimited energy capacity. He possesses not only the ability to manipulate matter and energy, but also psychic powers and the ability to control minds, making him one of the most fearsome and dangerous opponents Mr. Majestic has ever faced. Majestic has faced, and Kaizen Gamora is another threat, not from the distant universe, but from human ambition and desire for absolute control. As a high-tech dictator, Kaizen possesses superior intelligence and controls a developed country with extremely advanced military science. Without supernatural powers like Hellspawn, Kaizen is extremely dangerous because of his ability to calculate strategies and wide influence through destructive weapon systems, cyborg units, and breakthrough biotechnology. He often seeks to seize global power through economic manipulation, technological espionage, and even the Cold War. Mr. Majestic often faces threats that are not only personal, but also directly affect the survival of the planet. With his superior strength and strategic thinking, the battle between him and forces like Hellspawn or Kaigamon are not just a conflict between powerful individuals, but a symbol of the struggle between ideals, power, and the fate of all humanity. Subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. Martian Manhunter is considered one of the most powerful beings to have ever walked the Earth. His strength is often compared to that of Superman, and even Superman himself has acknowledged it. Martian Manhunter is also considered one of the most powerful telepathic beings in the universe. Due to his wide range of abilities, he is often described by members of the Justice League as a living all-purpose weapon, able to respond to a variety of situations. His telepathic abilities include sophisticated techniques such as illusions, mind control, and intrusion, astral projection, telepathy, mind reading, and inflicting damage through psychic attacks. In addition, Martian Manhunter can control objects with his mind and possesses the ability to transform his body at the molecular level, allowing him to adapt or transform into any form he desires, including changing his size or biological structure at the subatomic level. He can become invisible, phase through solid objects, and heal himself at the molecular level. His physical strength, durability, stamina, charisma and speed are comparable to Superman's, including the ability to react and move faster than light. Martian Manhunter also possesses Martian vision, which allows him to observe the entire electromagnetic spectrum, along with the ability to see through objects, detect heat, and track biological matter at a fine level. He has the ability to fly, hear sounds at frequencies beyond normal biological limits, and has a lifespan that has spanned millennia. Martian Manhunter is also a skilled fighter, with excellent hand-to-hand combat skills. He is a natural leader, often taking command of large-scale combat missions. With a combination of superior physical and intellectual abilities, Martian Manhunter is one of the key members of the Justice League. Not only famous for his superhuman abilities, but also he is one of the very few superheroes, along with Superman and Wonder Woman, who can coordinate to pull the entire planet Earth, a clear demonstration of his extraordinary physical strength. In addition, Martian Manhunter easily defeated Ultraman, the evil version of Superman from the villainous universe, showing his superior fighting ability even when facing enemies with Kryptonian-level powers. After the post-crisis event, he once assisted Superman in moving Brainiac's mothership, a giant ship that was far larger than Earth. Martian Manhunter also destroyed a moon with enhanced gravity, demonstrating his level of destruction on a planetary scale. In confrontations, he was able to knock Thoth back with a single punch and sent a Doomsday virus-infected version of Superman flying with a direct hit. He also knocked out Batman's ultimate Batsuit with a single powerful strike. Martian Manhunter's regenerative abilities are particularly impressive. When shot through walls and covered in fire, he was still able to quickly heal himself and continue fighting. Even after taking the full brunt of an attack from Black Adam, one of the most powerful beings in the magical world, Martian Manhunter remained unscathed. He also survived the destructive gravitational pull of a black hole, something very few beings can do. Martian Manhunter also possesses superhuman speed and thinking. He has communicated with Flash, Wonder Woman, and Superman at speeds beyond human comprehension, and launched a lightning attack on White Martian, a being who was overwhelming both Wonder Woman and Green Lantern. Remarkably, he was even able to absorb a dangerous antimatter energy blast from Wildfire without suffering serious damage. In high-intensity battles, he has simultaneously blocked attacks from both Raven and Robin, two warriors of formidable skill and strength. He has also flown from Mars to Earth in an extremely short time, demonstrating a speed that far exceeds the capabilities of superheroes. He easily defeated Clayface and used his shape-shifting abilities to adapt to the situation. When working with Superman, the two used their heat vision to create a destructive phenomenon that could have led to a global extinction event. Martian Manhunter once used his own heat ray to melt Black Adam's face, and in a brutal confrontation he destroyed an extremely dangerous creature, Furnace, with this ability. He can hear subtle sounds such as whispers in the Aztec language from thousands of miles away, specifically from the Watchtower. In dire situations, Martian Manhunter can be ruthless, as he knocked Aquaman down with a single well-placed punch. He also took over the War City mech and transformed into a giant dragon to lift a plane during a rescue mission. His ability to project heat vision is not limited to his eyes, but can also be emitted from many other points on his body, greatly increasing his combat effectiveness. He once fired his heat beam through a Mazo, an android capable of copying the powers of superheroes, demonstrating an extremely high level of damage. Martian Manhunter is said to possess up to 14 different senses. He can scan the entire consciousness on the planet, including divine entities like Spectre. Not only that, he once erased the memories of the entire Justice League, an act that requires extreme levels of telepathy. He can even read the complex thoughts of a spacecraft controlled by a high-level artificial intelligence. In another situation, he endured an entire attack from 9 white Martians, beings with telepathic abilities amplified millions of times, and was still able to continue fighting without flinching. His combination of strength, speed, intelligence, and transformation abilities make him one of the most dangerous and important figures in the entire universe. He once used his telepathic abilities to scan the entire layer of reality to locate the Flash, an act that required perception beyond the limits of three-dimensional space. He once controlled Black Adam, one of the most powerful beings in the magical universe, rendering him unable to make even the slightest movement. Martian Manhunter also used his telepathic powers to directly attack the mind of another Green Martian, a warrior of the same species, who also possessed similar powers but was still overwhelmed by him. He approached and scanned the entire mind of a planet in a period equivalent to a unit of Planck time, the smallest unit recognized in theoretical physics. In confrontations with supernatural forces, Martian Manhunter overwhelmed the spirit of Despero, a creature with advanced intelligence and extremely dangerous psychic abilities. He also repelled a telepathic attack from Brainiac, an artificial intelligence known as the greatest brain in the universe. He once convened a telepathic meeting between members of the Justice League, allowing everyone to exchange ideas instantly through their minds, allowing them to synchronize their strategies without the need for words or technology. He even interfered so deeply that he was able to affect the subconscious of Mr. Mxyzptlk, a fifth-dimensional entity, causing him to unconsciously say his name backwards, the only condition that forced Mxyzptlk to leave reality and return to his own dimension. The exact limits of Martian Manhunter's abilities, he has proven to be capable of standing up to any of DC's most formidable opponents, if not all of them. Superman, Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, Captain Atom, Green Lantern, The Flash, Orion, Mon-El, Lobo Zod, Black Adam, Despero, Mongol, White Martians, even Doomsday and Lord Darkseid. Superman himself once stated, "I can count on one hand the number of beings in the known universe that I fear facing in open combat." And Johns. The Martian Manhunter tops that list. He is quite possibly the most powerful being on this planet. He has faced off against the JLA more than once and they had a hard time restraining him. He even deafened them all at once. We are talking about Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and The Flash. He has everything. A Swiss Army knife of strength and ability. His power set is truly extraordinary. He is a true beast. A dimensional rift suddenly appears between two realities, the DC universe and the Wildstorm universe. The tear is the result of a complex multiverse incident that has left the boundaries of reality fragile and uncontrolled. From Wildstorm's side, the great warrior Mr. Majestic quickly senses an anomalous intrusion into the space he considers his protected territory. At the same time, Martian Manhunter, in his role as a super investigator for the Justice League, is sent to investigate the mysterious energy source that has just appeared and steps through the dimensional portal between the two universes. When the two entities meet in neutral space, Martian Manhunter chooses a peaceful approach. He begins by telepathically trying to enter Mr. Majestic's mind to understand his intentions and avoid an unnecessary confrontation. However, Martian quickly realizes that Majestic's mind is not simple. It was a highly strategic structure, like a mental labyrinth, organized and heavily guarded with countless layers of mental barriers. Each layer of Majestic's thinking seemed to be coded with absolute military discipline. The encounter quickly turned into an all-out psychic battle. Martian Manhunter mobilized all of his psychic abilities to create illusions, recreate memories, and manipulate spatial perception in an effort to find weaknesses in his opponent's consciousness. However, Mr. Majestic was not only physically strong, but also possessed superior strategic intelligence. With his instant analytical abilities and near absolute mental discipline, he quickly realized how Martian was manipulating mental reality. With a sharp psychic counterattack, Majestic completely broke the telepathic link between the two sides, forcing Martian Manhunter out of his mind. Escaping the mental intrusion was not only an act of self-defense, but also a declaration of Majestic's near-invincible mental and physical control. Martian Manhunter decided to upgrade his entire physical body to gain the upper hand. His body quickly transformed into a gigantic form, with bulging muscles, flexible tissue that could adapt instantly, and an energy density so high that it created spatial vibrations when he moved. He used his supersonic speed, combined with his physical strength that was almost equal to Superman's, to apply overwhelming pressure on his opponent. Each punch he threw was not only purely mechanical, but also a fusion of psychic and physical power, creating a comprehensive attack on both the physical and mental levels. Mr. Majestic was not easily defeated. As the ultimate warrior of the Khera race, a civilization with a technological level far superior to Earth, he immediately deployed his special strategic arsenal. The Khera beam technology system integrates directly with Majestic's biology, allowing him to manipulate matter at the atomic level and restructure the surrounding energy to create shields and offensive weapons. At the same time, his superior tactical analysis is also maximized. In every moment, he precisely calculates the trajectories, points of impact, and the recoil of each blow with precision quantified in nanoseconds. The battle space between the two entities gradually becomes distorted. The collisions are so strong that they cause the spatial structure to crack, creating energy cracks and gravitational turbulence. Martian Manhunter uses his attacks for the purpose of psychic induction, while Majestic directs the recoil to turn each punch into a tactical move. The pressure from the confrontation between the two pinnacle beings not only causes the battle space to crumble, but also creates a ripple effect into neighboring dimensions. Temperatures rise suddenly, gravity shifts abnormally, and energy waves travel hundreds of kilometers. The battle between Martian Manhunter and Mr. Majestic is increasingly fierce, stretching from the atmosphere to deep below the surface of a planet on the brink of destruction. Both super warriors rush into battle with everything they have: superhuman strength, strategic intelligence, and metaphysical abilities far beyond any normal being. During the fight, they accidentally penetrated the planet's crust and entered the core, where geothermal heat and radiation were leaking out of control. In this unstable core, the pressure of the primeval energy began to create significant psychic and neurological effects. Even as a Khera beam warrior with extraordinary resistance, Majestic was not completely immune to the psychological effects of the high heat energy waves and chaotic magnetic fields. Majestic's physiology had a latent weakness to fire-type heat. The constant impact from the planet's core caused the self-regeneration mechanisms and biological balance inside his body to begin to be disrupted. This was the moment when Martian Manhunter, with his sharp battlefield analysis and ability to quickly adapt to harsh environments, decided to switch to a decisive attack strategy. Martian deployed a finishing blow that combined telepathy, molecular manipulation, and understanding of quantum physics. He focused all his psychic and bioenergy to create a burst of quantum energy of a special frequency. As the attack detonated, a wave of quantum fluctuations spread around Majestic's body, forcing him into an immaterial state, similar to the phenomenon of atomic instability in a hyper-localized state. Under the influence of this explosion, Majestic was locked in a state where he could not interact with the surrounding matter or energy. The battle ended not with destruction, but with perfect domination, a victory of superior intelligence and adaptability. And Martian Manhunter was the winner. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much.